Good evening and welcome to MCTV TV News. I'm William Rosen.
And I'm Ava Battinelli.
Tonight, the Trump administration's DEI crackdown claims its biggest corporate target yet. Oil back above $100 a barrel this morning. And your gas prices are about to feel it. Plus, a food recall that has shoppers taking a look in their pantries.
And right here in the Hudson Valley, a controversial detention center that had this community up in arms. Plus, some residents are in disarray after poor living reported in Newburgh. What we're now learning tonight.
All that plus, Fox Fest is getting its biggest upgrade ever. Those stories and more coming up from Poughkeepsie.
Through the months of late winter and early spring, the town of Chester has been grappling with the United States Immigration and Customs Enforcement over the purchase of a warehouse located in the center of Chester, New York. ICE proposed that the warehouse, formerly used as a Pep Boys warehouse, would be used as an immigrant detention facility that could hold up to 1,500 people. The announcement early in January was met with pushback from many Hudson Valley residents. A few weeks after the proposal, a protest on January 28th drew over 500 people to the Chester Town Center area to oppose the proposal. Simultaneously, more than 30,000 people had signed Congressman Pat Ryan's petition against the plan since news about the plan went public. Local leaders like Town Supervisor Brandon Holdridge expressed concern that a detention center would allow the chaos that followed increased immigration enforcement in other communities to take root in the Hudson Valley. But in February, within 5 days of confirming the intended warehouse purchase, ICE retracted its statement. Now, months after the confusion, the story is beginning to become clearer. The only reason DHS was required to put out a notice regarding the entrance in the warehouse was because it was located within a 100-year floodplain and on wetlands. That is also the reason ICE decided not to use the location altogether. But worries remain. The Hudson Valley's proximity to New York City and Stewart International Airport makes it an attractive location for future federal immigration activities. Despite a lull in discussion surrounding the Chester location, citizens have not stopped protesting ICE's presence in the Hudson Valley. Holdridge reminds locals that the presence of the warehouse would result in an immediate lawsuit.
IBM has agreed to pay $17 million to settle a federal lawsuit over its diversity, equity, and inclusion practices. The Justice Department alleged the tech giant, while working under federal contracts, knowingly made false claims about its hiring, identifying, quote, diverse candidates for jobs and promotions while setting race and sex demographic goals. Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche announced the settlement, saying, quote, racial discrimination is illegal, and government contractors cannot obey the law by repackaging it as DEI. IBM denied any wrongdoing. The company said its workforce strategy is driven by, quote, having the right people with the right skills. The settlement makes clear it is not an admission of liability. This is part of the Trump administration's broader crackdowns on DEI. The DOJ began using the False Claims Act, originally a Civil War-era law, to target diversity initiatives at colleges and federal contractors. Now we turn it over to Kai with the science report. Kai?
Thanks, Will. Artemis 2 has splashed down, concluding the 10-day journey around the moon and back to Earth. NASA astronauts Reed Wiseman, Commander Victor Glover, pilot Christina Cook, mission specialist, and Canadian Space Agency mission specialist astronaut Jeremy Hansen splashed down at 5:07 Pacific Daylight Time last Friday, April 10th, 2026, off the coast of San Diego. Astronauts began this mission with liftoff at 6:35 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on April 1st from Launch Pad 39B at the agency's Kennedy Space Center in Florida. The crew traveled approximately 695,000 miles in total, and at its farthest point, the crew reached 252,756,000 miles from Earth, a new record for the deepest human spaceflight in history. The main task of this mission, according to NASA, Artemis 2 astronauts are putting the Orion spacecraft through a series of planned tests to evaluate systems, procedures, and performance in deep space. They will conduct manual spacecraft operations and monitor automated activities, evaluate Orion's life support, propulsion, power, thermal, and navigation systems, perform proximity operations activities, assess habitability and crew interfaces, and participate in science activities, including lunar surface observations and human health studies that will inform science operations on future moon missions. They will also practice mission-critical activities, including trajectory adjustments, communications at lunar distances, and piloting Orion during key phases of flight. Many ask, Artemis 2 will travel around the moon, but will not land on its surface. So why is this mission so important? The Artemis 2 test flight is NASA's first crewed Artemis mission. Astronauts on their first flight aboard NASA's Orion spacecraft will confirm the spacecraft systems operate as designed with crew abroad in the actual environment of deep space. The unique Artemis 2 mission profile builds on the uncrewed Artemis 1 flight test by demonstrating a broad range of SLS, Space Launch System, and Orion capabilities needed on deep space missions. This mission will verify Orion's life support systems can sustain astronauts on longer duration missions ahead and allow the crew to practice operations essential to Artemis 3 and beyond. The science Artemis 2 brought back to Earth will pave the way for future missions to the moon's surface by helping advance mission operations and training astronauts to use well-informed judgment to identify areas of high interest for science and exploration. With the crew safely on Earth, NASA and its partners now turn attention to preparing for next year's Artemis 3 mission.
Residents of the Kenny Apartments in Newburgh, New York, say they've been living in unsafe and deteriorating conditions for years, blaming inattentive ownership for ongoing neglect. Tenants report going through multiple winters without adequate heat or hot water. Many units are also plagued by mold, mice, and broken window issues residents say have repeatedly been ignored by management. Now, those conditions have led to legal action. A state lawsuit has been filed against developers Byrne and Kenny as city officials point to a broader pattern of neglect. According to the city, the complex currently has around 160 unresolved housing violations, signaling that these issues are far from isolated. Longtime residents say they've watched conditions steadily decline. Wilhelmina Lamb, who has lived in the complex for more than 25 years, says she has witnessed firsthand the worsening environment and the toll it's taken on tenants. Frustrated by a lack of response, some residents say they've begun withholding rent until repairs are made. For many, the issue goes beyond policy or profit. It's about the basic right to safe and livable housing. The situation comes as the city of Newburgh considers a multi-million-dollar redevelopment deal with Contour Housing Partners. The company has requested a 33-year payment in lieu of taxes or pilot agreement as part of its proposal to take over and rehabilitate the property. If approved, renovations could begin as early as August 2026. However, city officials say discussions are still ongoing, leaving many tenants uncertain about whether meaningful change is finally on the way. Residents say they've heard promises before, and until real improvements begin, they remain skeptical. Meanwhile, housing advocates note that situations like this are not unique, as aging affordable housing complexes across the country continue to face issues of neglect, accountability, and oversight.
Horrible what's going on in Newburgh. As we take a look, oil markets are in fresh turmoil today. The U.S. Navy blockade of Iran's ports took effect this morning at 10 a.m., sending crude prices surging back above $100 a barrel. Brent crude jumped more than 8%. Gas prices at the pump are now averaging $4.12 a gallon nationally, up 38% since the war began in late February. President Trump announced the blockade Sunday after peace talks in Islamabad collapsed over the weekend. He ordered the Navy to intercept any vessel that has paid Iran a toll to pass through the Strait of Hormuz, a waterway that once carried roughly 1/5 of the world's oil supply. Analysts at J.P. Morgan warned the last tanker to clear Hormuz before the closure is expected to exhaust available pre-war barrels. Around April 20th, it will run out of energy. One expert told CNN, quote, "For now and into the end of 2026, we're looking at elevated oil prices for certain." Now, over to Julia. What's going on in the world of water polo?
Good evening, Poughkeepsie. This is Julia Peldunas with your sports report for tonight. Starting with Maris Sports, the Red Foxes competed in the MAC Water Polo Championship this past weekend, coming off a dominant regular season. Maris defeated LaSalle 11-6 in the semifinals before falling just short in the championship, losing to Wagner 14-13 in double overtime. Despite the tough loss, the Red Foxes finished this season with an impressive 24-5 overall record and a perfect 8-0 mark in conference play, capping off one of their strongest seasons in recent years. In golf, April 12th marked a historic moment as Rory McIlroy captured his second consecutive Masters title, becoming just the fourth golfer ever to accomplish the feat and the first since Tiger Woods in the early 2000s. McIlroy showed incredible composure throughout the tournament, reinforcing his place among the game's all-time greats. After the win, he reflected on the journey by saying, "I just can't believe I waited 17 years to get one green jacket, and I get 2 in a row," adding that his perseverance at Augusta has finally paid off. Lastly, in the WNBA, the league is in the middle of a pivotal offseason as free agency officially opened April 11th, bringing a wave of major roster moves and record-setting contracts under the new collective bargaining agreement. The 2026 WNBA draft is taking place this evening, already featuring key selections. Earlier tonight, UConn star AZ Fudd was taken first overall by the Dallas Wings, where she will join her former UConn teammate and girlfriend, Paige Beckers. Other stars like Lauren Betts, Kiki Rice, and Flau'jae Johnson join Fudd in this highly anticipated draft class, so be sure to keep an eye out for where they land. Additionally, with expansion teams in Portland and Toronto preparing for their inaugural seasons, momentum continues to build ahead of the season tip-off in early May. That's all for sports news tonight. Now back to the desk.
Community growth is the goal this assessment day as FoxFest returns to campus with renewed energy and higher expectations. In previous years, student turnout at FoxFest has been limited, but this year, organizers say they're aiming for something much bigger. Director of Student Activities Bob Lynch says he envisions a future where the campus green is filled like a major village. FoxFest is set to kick off at 10 a.m. on April 15th, just one day after the spring concert, giving students something to look forward to on assessment day. Lynch says that the event is designed to grow over time into a larger campus tradition. This year's theme, Foxes Around the World, focuses on cultural diversity and bringing together students from a wide range of backgrounds, majors, and interests. Residence Hall Association President Luke Adami says the theme adds an educational element to the event. FoxFest will include a variety of activities from inflatables and games to arts and crafts and a tethered balloon ride. The Red Fox Rumble will also return after requests from the senior class. Adami says the event is designed to keep students engaged longer than they might expect. A new addition this year includes housing tours, giving underclassmen a chance to explore future living options on campus. The day will also feature a picnic and a screening of Wicked and S'mores. FoxFest is a collaborative effort involving multiple campus organizations, including Student Programming Council, Student Government, Residence Life, Student Affairs, and the McCann staff. The only factor organizers can't control is the weather. In the event of rain, activities will be moved indoors to the McCann gym. Still, Lynch says the goal is long-term growth. FoxFest organizers say the event is not just about entertainment, but about building a stronger, more connected campus community. Foxes Around the World activities start at 1.
Conditions on the gain for FoxFest, so let's move over to the grains. If you have a bag of Luddenborg organic jasmine rice at home, please check the label. 2-pound bags of that product have been recalled over concerns they may have been contaminated with foreign material. The recall was initiated by Lundberg Family Farms and dates back to April 4th. The affected bags carry the UPS code 7734160400281. With Best Buy dates of either February 1st or February 2nd of 2027, and lot codes 260201 or lot codes 260202. The brand is sold at major national retailers, including Wegmans, Target, Walmart, and Whole Foods. Wegmans has posted the recall notice on its website. The company says the issue is limited to a single production run and that no illnesses have been reported. It has been classified as a Class 2 recall, meaning the contamination could cause temporary or reversible health effects. And as of today, no notice has appeared on the FDA's website. If you have the affected product, please do not consume it. And on a brighter note, let's go over to Amanda with our entertainment report. Amanda?
Thanks, Will. Good evening, MCTV News. My name is Amanda Gorrin, and here is your entertainment report for the evening. On April 10th, Artemis 2 splashed down after a successful 10-day mission around the moon. Millions of people followed every move of the astronauts through NASA's live streams. But what really had fans of the mission in a chokehold were the wake-up songs that were selected by the crew and their families to be woken up with each day of the mission. Songs included Sleepyhead, Green Light, In a Daydream, Pink Pony Club, Working Class Heroes, Good Morning, Tokyo Drifting, Under Pressure, and Lonesome Drifter. Mission Control did have a bit of a fumble with Chappell Roan's Pink Pony Club, cutting off the song abruptly, leaving the astronauts disappointed. Artemis II Commander Reed Wiseman shared with Mission Control, "We were all eagerly awaiting the chorus," to which Mission Control promised to do better next time. Back on Earth, Coachella began on April 10th with millions flocking to sunny California to hear their favorite artists. Headliner Sabrina Carpenter did more than just perform for her loyal fans. She truly made this experience a show. Dubbed Sabrina Wood, Carpenter transformed the stage into a dive bar, a recording studio, and a vivid cityscape with celebrity cameos from Will Ferrell, Sam Elliott, and Susan Sarandon, who played an older version of Carpenter during a monologue within the middle of the set. Carpenter proved to fans and average listeners alike that she could put on quite the show. Speaking of a show, Justin Bieber's performance has left many fans confused. Performing on Saturday, April 11th, fans said Bieber put on the most un-Coachella performance ever, with what the internet is referring to as the laptop set. In this, Bieber went on his laptop and played old videos of himself, whether it was paparazzi encounters or old music videos, which he sang to, for over 30 minutes. Fans saw this as lazy and strange, with one ex-user writing, "Justin Bieber is being paid $10 million to search up his own music on YouTube and walk around the stage." And Katy Perry sharing, "Thank God he had premium. I don't want to see no ads." Is it not clocking to you that Bieberchella might not have been the smartest of Justin's performance choices? Regardless, the fans showed up dressed for the occasion, rocking the classic My World Tour Bieber era. Hopefully, Justin will learn from his mistakes for the remainder of Coachella. That's all I have for the entertainment world. Back to you at the desk.
What's up, guys?
I'm Christina.
And I'm Ethan,
And today is the Campus Expose.
where we're going to ask people what they're most looking forward to this spring. Let's see what they say. I'm here with
Kevin Wyman.
And Mr. Wyman, your question of the day is, what are you most looking forward to this spring?
Everything. The weather's getting better. We're heading towards commencement. Happiest time of year. So many events, end of year performances and thesis presentations. We're going to win some MAC championships, I think,
Yeah.
and hope. So it's all good.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
And I'm here with
Danielle.
And what are you looking forward to this spring?
I am really excited for the weather to get warmer and for us to be able to sit out on the green. And I'm also really excited for the trees to start flowering. I can see they're already starting to bud, and I'm so excited for them to actually be in full bloom.
Whoop, whoop. Can't wait too.
I'm here with,
Robbie.
now tell me, Robbie, what are you most looking forward to this spring?
I'm looking forward to warm weather and completing all my finals.
That sounds awesome. Thank you.
And I'm here with.
Quinn.
And the question is, what are you looking forward to this spring?
I'm looking forward to graduation this spring.
Thanks for tuning into Campus Expose.
We'll see you next time.
Two major milestones in the U.S. this week. Obviously, you have Artemis II, but you also have Bieberchella. What do you think is the most important one?
I gotta tell you, Will, I'm quite the believer.
Are you serious?
I am.
Baby, baby, baby. Whoa. That's my
Exactly.
favorite song. That's my favorite song. I'm an old Bieber guy, but Artemis II making milestones as well. That's all we have for this week.
I'm Ava Battinelli.
And I'm William Rosen. Take care.